A lot of men say they have standards, but when it's time to enforce them, they fold, they compromise, they explain, they tolerate, they stay longer than they should, and then they wonder why respect fades. Welcome to Men Don't Chase, where we talk about real self-respect, real attraction, and real masculine clarity. Today, we're breaking down why your standards aren't enough and how to raise them without losing yourself or the right woman. Let's get into it. First, what most men get wrong about standards. Standards are not preferences. They're not wishes. They're not things you say out loud once and hope for the best. Standards only exist when they're enforced. If you don't act on them, you don't have standards, you have expectations. And expectations without action create resentment. Number one, your standards collapse under attraction. This is the biggest reason men fail. When a woman is attractive, men lower their standards without realizing it. They excuse behavior. They ignore red flags. They tolerate inconsistency. They accept disrespect. They tell themselves, "It's not that bad. She'll change. I don't want to lose her." Attraction becomes the enemy of self-respect. A man who can't hold standards under pressure doesn't really have them. Number two, you confuse flexibility with weakness. Being flexible is healthy. Being spineless is not. Strong men know the difference. Flexibility says, "I understand." Weakness says, "I'll accept this, even if it costs me peace." When you keep adjusting yourself to avoid conflict, you teach people that your comfort is optional. That's how respect disappears quietly. Number three, you don't enforce consequences. Standards without consequences are invisible. If you say, "I don't tolerate disrespect," but you stay when it happens, your standard means nothing. People don't respond to words, they respond to patterns. The moment someone crosses a line and nothing happens, you reset the standard lower. Number four, you're afraid of losing. Most men don't lower standards because they're weak. They do it because they're afraid. Afraid of being alone, starting over, losing attraction, being misunderstood. So they trade long-term peace for short-term comfort. But here's the truth. Anything you keep by abandoning yourself will eventually cost you more. Why raising standards feels risky. Raising standards means saying no, walking away, creating distance, disappointing people. That scares men who tie their value to approval. But strong men understand this. Rejection is temporary. Self-betrayal is permanent. How to raise your standards the right way. This is how you do it. Calmly, cleanly, without drama. Step 1. Define non-negotiables. Before emotions get involved, decide what you will not accept. Examples: disrespect, inconsistency, dishonesty, chaos, lack of effort. If you decide this early, you won't negotiate later. Clarity removes confusion. Step 2. Stop explaining yourself. Men talk too much when enforcing standards. They justify, they argue, they debate, they over-explain. Strong standards don't need speeches. A simple, "that doesn't work for me," is enough. The more you explain, the weaker the boundary feels. Step 3. Act once, calmly. The power is in action, not emotion. You don't threaten, you don't argue, you don't punish. You simply adjust your presence. Less access, more distance, or walking away. Calm action speaks louder than emotional words. Step 4. Be willing to lose what's not aligned. This is the hardest part and the most important. If you're not willing to lose her, you can't raise standards. Strength comes from detachment, not fear. The right woman respects standards. The wrong one resents them. Let that filter do its job. What happens when you raise standards? Something interesting happens. Weak connections fade. Confusion disappears. Respect increases. Your presence strengthens. The right people stay. You stop negotiating your worth. You stop proving yourself. You stop chasing alignment, and attraction becomes mutual. Why strong standards don't push away the right woman. This matters. Raising standards does not repel healthy women, it repels chaos. The right woman respects clarity, appreciates consistency, feels safe with boundaries, doesn't need games. If someone leaves because you raise standards they were never aligned to begin with, the difference between ego and standards. Ego says, you must meet my demands. Standards say, this is what I live by. Ego tries to control others. Standards control your actions. That's the difference. The bottom line. Your standards aren't enough if they disappear under pressure. Real standards stay firm under attraction, don't need explanations, come with action, require willingness to walk away, raise them calmly, enforce them quietly, protect your peace. You don't lose by having standards, you lose by abandoning them. This is Men Don't Chase. Stay grounded, stay focused, stay untouchable.